Hello viewers, welcome to Science TV for our show, The Classroom Show. With me, your host, Ruth WAIRIMU, and that is my sign name. And today I'm very excited and delighted. For today I have a guest from Naivasha who has traveled all the way to come and be with me here on the show, and I'm very excited. Thank you viewers. I'll give her time so that she can introduce herself, tell you her name and everything, a little bit about herself. Welcome.
Hello viewers, my name is Rose Wanjiko. I come from Naivasha. Rose Wanjiko, this is my sign name. I'm a sign language interpreter and I'm also a tutor in sign language. I'm so happy and excited to be here today. Thank you so much, Ruth, for the invite. Yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy our time here together. Thank you very much.
Wow, interesting. I'm very delighted. As you've heard, her name is Rose, and she's Rose like the flower herself, and that is a sign name. Very beautiful lady, as you can all see, and she's decided to travel all the way from Naivasha to grace us with her presence, and for that I'm very happy and very delighted. Thank you so much, for joining us as well for the other show, the Sign Out Loud as well. Now that aside, so today we are going to discuss a little bit about education, her education from right when she was growing up, how she, the inspirations that she's gotten, all that has motivated her to continue with the education, and why exactly she decided to, focus on the deaf people and to join the deaf community and learn sign language, and not giving up on that. She's tried so much, and now she's a sign language interpreter, so she will explain to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, like she has said, I'm a sign language interpreter. My interest in sign language started way long ago when I was in primary school. That is in Nyandarua County. I'm born and bred in Nyandarua County in a place called NJUNGUNA. Okay, in my neighboring school at my primary times level, we were neighbors with certain school for the deaf named Nyandarua School for the Deaf. I used to admire how these people could interpret, sign. I never knew that signing is something that you have to study to learn how to sign. So I used to envy their way of signing, their way of communication, the way they could make stories and laugh, and I could be like, Lord, one day I would want to be like these people. So it was fun for me. So after primary school, I joined high school, I cleared, I did my college, I did my secretarial course, but that was not my calling. All along I felt like I needed to be in the media, but I never knew how to get there. So I cleared my studies, I got married in Naivasha and I settled there. So I used to fellowship at my current church, which is PCA Naivasha Town Church. And it happened there that we had deaf members, and again, my motivation and interested got zero there. I could admire the services, I could admire everything about the interpretation. So one time, there was an announcement in church that whoever is interested to learn sign language can register and start classes. I was number one on the list. I did my basics, signing skills, basics communication skills in sign language. I cleared, and I started interpreting in church as I assisted the other interpreters who were in church, and I loved it. Like I always looked forward to Sunday so that I can communicate using my hands. It was fun for me. I continued, I later did my diploma in Kenya Sign Language, that is the advanced certificate in Kenyan Sign Language. And how I happened to know that sign language is sweeter than I ever thought. It's during COVID time. It happened that the churches were to be closed, and all the churches could do their services online. So in our church, because we had deaf members, it was agreed that we are going to have interpreters in the online service, and that happened to be RUTH. So I did my interpretation online for the longest time that COVID lasted, and I realized that despite the fact that it can be a service to assist our deaf members, I can also use my skills to reach people out online, in other places, even in the entire world. So I embraced the same, and since then I upped my skills in interpretation, and I got to love it even more. Actually, this moment, my main source of income is Kenya Sign Language, nothing else. I interpret in conventions, in workshops, in government organizations, and I teach. I teach the same at Kenya Institute of Development Studies, that is Kids College. I train KSL, and I love being here. I think I can never do anything better than KSL. KSL is my day-to-day activity. KSL is, I call it my fun and my hobby. I love it when I interact with the deaf people. Actually, it has become so much in me that anytime I'm in a public event, I will always find myself volunteering, asking, could there be deaf members around so that I can offer my skills? Because I realized that in the community, we kind of leave these people aside, ignoring them, because when someone is blind, you will always see them using the white stick, yeah? When someone is physically disabled, you will always see them using the wheels. But for a deaf person, unless you talk to this person, you can never realize that this person is deaf. So in many public events, you realize that they are always left behind. So wherever I go in public events, be it in churches or wherever, I always volunteer myself and ask around, is there any deaf members in church? Because I would feel bad when they are left behind while I am there to bridge the communication barrier between them. So I'm loving doing KSL, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. Deaf people have become my family. I am proud deaf community member. Yeah, thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. I don't even know how to express. Thank you so much for that intro, that amazing intro, and for the bit by bit step that you've taken. I believe all interpreters should, borrow a leaf from you and try as well, and never to give up, because sign language is not such a difficult language. You can stand strong and be able to, learn it. Also, through sign language, you can acquire a career, just like Rose has done. And I'm very excited to have her here, and for the nice discussion that, we are having right now. Because, as she said, she started in church in PCA, her church in PCA. She sat down, during the preaching, watching the services, trying to follow along with the interpreters, while nurturing her dream of one day, becoming an interpreter herself and learning, KSL. And I'm glad that she's here where she is right now. Very interesting. So, right now, I want to ask her another question. So how did you learn sign language? Did you learn by yourself, or was there deaf people who taught you sign language?
Okay, my first sign language class was done in church. There, like I said before, our church had some deaf members, and the church leadership felt it was wise to have interpreters so that those deaf members don't feel left behind. And initially we had only 3 interpreters, and maybe because out of their own busy schedules at times they could never be able to come for the interpretation service. So the church felt that it was good to increase the number of interpreters so that our deaf members would have the services each and every Sunday. And that is where I happened to start my basic sign language class. The church volunteered to train interpreters, and I was one of the beneficiaries of the free learning. So after I did the free learning in church, I felt it was better if I had papers on the same, because you cannot go telling people that I do this, I do that, but you don't have any paper to show. So I went back to the Institute of Sign Language and I did my certificate in basic sign language skills. After I cleared, well, I worked a bit on it so that I can practice more and gain more skills. After that, that is when I joined the same Institute of Sign Language, and I did my advanced, that is diploma certificate in sign language. So it started way long ago. I benefited from the church, and I learned that it was better if I had my skills documented. So my learning camp came from the church, sponsored by the church.
Wow, interesting. A very motivating story. Starting to learn sign language, from class. So please, dear viewers who are out there, you can join her on the same journey. You can join her in the institute where she is right now, where she trains sign language, so that you too can, learn sign language. I'm 100% sure that sign language is a very interesting language, not as boring as some of you might think, because parents who have, children as well, children who are deaf and are stuck in communication, you can join Rose so that she may be able to teach you and be comfortable enough to, communicate with the children. You can try as well, and I know you can succeed to be able to communicate with your own children who are deaf. Because you see, when you're not able to communicate with your own children, then the children themselves, become bored at home. They become silent, withdrawn from the society. Because you see, very many times, the hearing people, you will be speaking, telling your stories, but you forget about the child who is deaf there and remains alone. So please join and learn sign language so that it can help you communicate with your children, so that for a brighter future and a happier future for the children as well. Now that aside, so in the Technical Institute of Sign Language, where you are teaching right now, and I'm very sure that you love your job. Now you've interpreted in different places, conferences, government institutions as well. They always call you for different organizations. But where exactly is your favorite place to interpret? Is it the conferences or the schools or the organizations?
Thank you so much for that question, Ruth. My place of, like I can say, wherever I enjoy interpreting is in church. In church and any public event. Because I believe there nobody will come out and maybe give the services to the deaf people. So I feel most of the times in churches, in those public events, people are always left behind. So that is where I love doing my interpretation more, so that I can I spread the word of God to the people, to everybody, that even the deaf people can get to learn and hear the word of God. So I love it being in church, public events, that is maybe government public events and conferences, where I feel that the deaf members are always left behind. That is my best place of working. Yeah.
Wow, interesting once again. That is very interesting. Because you see, in church is very important, because very many deaf people normally go to churches, but they are seated there without knowing what's happening. The pastor is preaching without an interpreter, but when the interpreter is there, then the deaf members can also enjoy the service as well. We can also participate in the different activities that take place in church, the fellowship and all that as well. I believe that's very, very important. And congratulations to you, Rose, and I'm very excited for you as well. And she's very happy in a job that she does, in, be it working for the government, public institutions, and the church, and congratulations for the same as well. And I wish you that you continue growing well in your life as well. Now, We are going to take a short break and we'll be right back with more.